That was the play of the game right there. That flute led to so much else, and we are on our way. And we have a piece of heart in Link's house and a small key for escape in Sanctuary.
And what you were saying, a lot of races do come down to one play, and that happens very often, especially in team play. So we're going to see what happens today. 2 Pearl, 2 Furious, one more win today ties them with Sphere Fantasy with 12 points in the standings at 4th place if they win today. If Sphere Fantasy wins, they go up to 15 points, and they will take the 4th place actually tie for 3rd place at that point. So Trinexx looks like he's going to the back of Escape. GFE is looking like he's going to go to Houlihan Stratos at this point, while P-Trade is checking the Lumberjack area. So is Scaryolive.
Yeah, this is a co-op seed, both of our racers. So we have Team Sphere Infinity on the left and 2 Pearl 2 Furious on the right. We are going to be averaging the 2 times between each of the racers.
So
go ahead.
I was going to say, in the Escape, we had a red boomerang and a big 20, so nothing big to talk about there. We did just get a Lumberjack check on P-Train. I didn't catch what it was, so I'm going to try and catch it again on Scaryolive's screen. I couldn't tell exactly what that item was there.
Now, this is just a regular co-op seed. This is not the co-op hack that Xander developed. I know I've seen some confusion in chats about that. This is not the seed hack where if one player finds an item, they both find the item. Both racers will have to go and do everything themselves.
Looks like GFE is trying to store a water walk here and then goes to buy some bombs in the process. We did find 300 rupees was the item on Lumberjack. We know that Link needs to get a college fund set up. He needs to go get that. But first, he's going to pick up the hammer out of the Lost Woods.
Yeah, big item right there, right off the bat. Gives them the damage of a tempered sword, and just allows them. That's 1/3 of the riddle of Dark World access.
Yeah, the riddle of Moon Pearl, heavy lifting footwear or handwear rather. Footwear would be silly, and then the hammer that you just found would be things that give full Dark World access. Oh, we're gonna get a green pendant hint for Swamp Palace. Green pendant is the Swamp Palace. That means we know the Sahasrara cannot have the hook shot, the flippers, or the hammer, because, well, the hammer, obviously, because those are all needed for Swamp Palace.
He does have the gloves, though.
I meant on his person, but, yeah. We're getting our stream synced up here, so sorry for the slight pause there. We just found the
hook shot.
Yeah, we just found the hook shot in the back of the blind set. Scaryolive is going to check out the rest of the items in there as well himself right now for the other team. GFE going straight into East Palace. Trinexx right behind him. So we're going to... Actually, that was the dam that Trinexx went into. I missed where he was. So Trinexx in the dam, and GFE is in Eastern Palace. And we're going to find out what is in Eastern Palace right now, as we also find the Moon Pearl in the well.
So we now know where our Dark World access is going to be. There's a few Dark World things that we won't be able to access without... Oh, and there's the mirror as well.
A very loaded well today, so Kakariko paying off as it usually does. Now we're going to...
Oh, go ahead.
Now we're going to see if Mini Moldorm Cave pays off today, as we just get a big 20 back from the bottle then.
Doing it with bombs, Trinexx playing risky here.
So, and speaking of bombs, yes, this is Mini Moldorm Cave. You can see why we call it Mini Moldorm Cave. It's not because of Trinexx.
Oh, there's the bow.
Yep, you just took it out of my mouth. We found the bow there. And Chicken Head didn't have much, just a big 20 there.
Sick Kid just having a full heart container. And we're seeing what here in another empty bottle in Eastern.
We'll see. Have to see if GFE decides to go back for that full heart container. I know the runners will each want some hearts to complete the seed. By the way, a heart container requires the hammer, just in case you need to know that.
Another full heart container on the library. Probably
That
won't be going back to get that.
Yeah, we probably won't see that one. And Scaryolive is going to get the heart container information as well. And Ice Rod Cave only had a big 20 in it, so nothing important there. We're going to be moving on and finding out what is in the... I didn't see if GFE picked up the big key yet, so if he has not, we know this is the big key here. If not, there could be an item in here.
Yeah, he's only got 3 hearts, so he is playing it smart, and... Oh, he doesn't have a way to kill things other than,
Yeah,
bots.
he tried to do it and realized he can't do it yet, so he's going to have to... Did he? Okay, I was going to say, he might have to... Apparently, if you leave that room and come back, the enemies... Oh, the pots regenerate, so he's just regenerating the pots. He's doing this to get the pots back.
The heads-up play, you usually don't see this. You probably wouldn't in a non-co-op seed.
Now dodge all the anti-fairies. And there we go. We have just some arrows in there. Trinexx, meanwhile, did pick up his hammer as well, so all 3 of our runners are now armed. GFE still has to get that. Trinexx still the only one who picked up the bow at a mini mold run. That's because P-Train is currently going through Hyrule Castle, which we hear on the audio, and GFE is going to the back of Escape, so both sections will be covered. Nice way to tag team the same area and get it fully covered quickly. And GFE will communicate to P-Train there's nothing important in the back of Escape, just do the front half and communicate back if anything's there.
Now, aside from the flute being on Catfish for that last race, the thing that really won Scaryolive and Trinexx the race was probably just down to their communication. They were generally in different areas of the world at different at every single time. When GFE and Sabatender were playing last, there were a couple times where they were both searching the same thing. They were both in Spiral Cave at the same time. And that was still relatively earlier in the seed. Communication is absolutely 100% key in these co-op races. And if you are not communicating as well as you can with your team, then you are not going to win this race.
That is true. That is what is key about this type of race. If you can cover the most ground in the shortest amount of time between 2 people, then you're going to be more likely to win the race. Unless the layouts just happen to lay out perfectly that you happen to both find them at the same time, that's not going to be very common. You want to make sure you cover different ground at the same time so you can make sure that you're getting the most research, I guess, for your time.
Scaryolive is going to give us our first look here at Dark World. Hype Cave is coming up.
Yeah, he wants Hype Cave. We're getting our map check, though. Red Crystals at Misery Mire and Thieves Town. I see a pendant at Green Pendant, actually, at Swamp Palace. I didn't catch if there was another pendant in there. So we're going to get our first glimpse of Hype Cave today. Let's see how much hype is in this cave, or whether it's what I like to call the Cave of Disappointment. So far, I'm right on that. Big 20. We have some arrows. We have some bombs. The single arrow and more arrows. Virtual Cat, you know what I'm going to ask? Rate that Hype Cave.
This is actually better than the Hype Cave they had in their last race.
Why do you say that?
I believe it was all arrows in the last At least they got some rupees that they can use to pay off the monkey later on.
It's a blueberries. We have a rating in chat of 0.5 for the single arrow.
So we're seeing a similar play to last time. Scaryolive is making their way up the right side of Dark World, while Trinexx is going to go over to Village of Outcasts. Oh, and there's the flippers. Scaryolive getting those flippers. He's going to be able to use those to access a lot more of the world.
Very, very nice find. Hanging out all the way over there on the pyramid. So that's a place that can easily be overlooked. And I can say, having tried a few of these, it is a place that is easy to overlook. So it is definitely a very good find, and he's going to go get Catfish out of the way now. Some people like to route in Catfish, I was going to say, with the northern checks of Dark World, but it looks like he's also trying to route in with King Zora. You took it right out of my mouth when you said he has the mirror, because he has over 600 rupees in his inventory right now. I see another pennant up at Skull Woods, by the way, on another map check. So it looks like our tracker did get that. The other pennant was in Desert Palace. So Catfish, as we know, tends to have something useful. I'm going to say lamp.
I don't know if this is flute again or something big.
Nope, just $50 today. Another $50 in the C-shaped house in Village of Outcasts. P-Train is about to check out his cave of rather useless item.
Ooh, silvers and the waterfall fairy.
That's another nice find. That will make the Ganon fight a lot easier. I'm sure Trinexx will be informed of the silvers in case he wants them.
Yeah, last race we found those in the same room as the big key in GT.
That's gross. Convenient, but gross.
And having the bow this early too, and having silvers, there's a lot of bosses that are just going to be
we have a sword.
Much easier for them.
GFE found his first sword. At least I think that was a sword.
Swamp Hit was just a unique item, requires the hammer, and King Zora gives us Bombos.
So let's clear up the hints we've seen so far. A heart container requires a hammer, and a unique item requires a hammer. What doesn't require a hammer?
I am just downright amazed at what they can destroy with just a hammer.
Pretty much.
Yeah, Olive is looking like he's going to go do Swamp. I like that play. This is all dungeons. He has to do Swamp eventually.
Yeah,
Swamp is also the green pendant, and when he routes up to Pod, which he should be able to clear, even though he doesn't have the lamp, he can mirror over and turn that into Sahasrara.
Yeah, if you can get to Palace of Darkness and Eastern Palace at the same time, and I like to route it in myself with Aghanim if possible as well, do everything at once as long, but of course that doesn't always work out. It would be something to see if Lumberjack Ledge needed. But if you are able to do Eastern Palace and Palace of Darkness at the same time, then you are saving time by not having to travel to that same area twice. If you can get Sahasrara's pendant to him while you're there, that saves even more time.
Yeah, this is just a really, really smart play by Scaryolive.
And that's the same hint that we just saw. Scaryolive is now getting about the unique hint requiring the hammer. Unique item. Unique hint. That'd be a new one.
And Blue Mail at the top of Thieves Town.
Oh, very nice. That was in the Sunshine Room. And I didn't see the hint up there. Did you see the hint in that area?
I did not get a chance to.
We'll see it again on the other side eventually, I'm sure. I don't think we've seen Ice Rock Cave yet, have we? Big 20 in there. If we did see it, I forgot.
Hey, we got 4 racers all doing different things. It is easy to miss some stuff. And some cash underwater.
So he had not checked the hint yet, and that's what it was. What did you say King Zora gave?
King Zora gave Bombos.
That means... Well, I wonder if it's Swamp Palace. That would be interesting.
Yeah, King Zora, underwater used to only mean Swamp Palace, but in the most recent update, I believe they added Zora and Catfish to the underwater hints.
Interesting. That's originally I would have thought it was just those two, but I was trying to figure out if Swamp Palace would count in that because you have to flood the dam to actually put it underwater. So interesting.
Oh, and I think the dam actually, the item that is there when you release the dam, also counts.
Oh, that is okay. That's probably the one then. Never mind.
Hobo just having bombs. That seems dangerous.
That's not good at all. No, that doesn't seem safe. So GFE is taking a lovely blue dress wearing maiden to the lovely ray of sunshine because, you know, any beautiful maiden loves bathing in the sun. So GFE is just trying to help her out. And, uh-oh, she has turned around. Butchering cows. I'll try that again. Butchering cows means high stakes. And she turns into a horrible monster. We didn't see that coming.
Scaryolive is checking out the left side of Swamp. Eventually.
This is a good play. It means that Trinexx will not have to if there's nothing over there. So GFE does complete the monster battle, as we call it. Or at least I just randomly called it that, don't ask me why. Anyway, GFE is now done Thieves Town. The green pennant is in tow, and he doesn't have the bow yet, but he should know where it is from P-Train and should be getting it up soon, and then he can do the entire Eastern Palace Starters all at once while P-Train keeps busy. P-Train meanwhile picking up his bombos. Did you see what was on the waterfall ledge, by the way?
I believe it was just some rupees.
Okay. Oh yay, we're gonna go digging. Time to start digging on GFE's screen. Let's see if he spells out something or just does random digs. I'm gonna say he does random digs. He missed one of the digs. He's up to 13. Missed again. 14, 50. He should make it up to 30 if he needs to. He's at 26. 27 is, looks like 300 bucks.
Oh, I'm almost getting out of there before the text box.
Yeah, that's a slowdown. That's a time loss. We're hearing the dinks of spikes hitting walls, or traps hitting walls. Meanwhile, Scaryolive finds a big 20 in the west wing of Swamp Palace. We're going to see what the other item is over there right now. And half magic. That is a nice to have.
While Scaryolive was grabbing half magic, if you hear that P-Train now has the boots from the old man.
Oh, okay. I didn't catch that because I was looking at the half magic. So I was going to talk about the half magic for a second. That is a nice to have. Trinexx will obviously get that information. It will be interesting to see if Trinexx chooses to go for that or chooses to go without it. Knowing that his partner's already confirmed it's not a required item over there, I have a feeling he won't go for it, but it will really come down to runner preference whether that is something he would want to pick up.
Knowing Trinexx, I do not think Trinexx will go for half magic.
The flippers is in plain sight. Well, you know what? The team on the right knows that. The team on the left does not. So they just learned that. I mean, question if anyone's been to Desert Ledge. I don't know if anyone's even been to Agina yet, let alone Desert Ledge, so I couldn't say.
No, they had around 7-minute Dark World access, and going into Dark World takes much more precedence over going to. Oh, and there's the glove upgrades in Swamp. Excuse everything that I just said. Swamp is the absolute right place.
Yeah, that is absolutely where to go for any kind of progression today. Now, since Scaryolive does have the hook shot and the Titan Bit, that means Death Mountain is fully available to him at 20 minutes into this raid. And GFE getting his bow from a Molder Cave. He's the last runner to do so.
I did not see the top of Paradox Cave. Now we go up the stairs to the bottom of Paradox Cave. Let's see what we have here. Blue cane. That's alright.
That opens up Spike Cave. That's the only thing that you could say that the runners didn't have yet because they need the cave or the cane of burnup. But with the blue cane, that would put Spike Cave completely within logic. So Scaryolive should be coming upon that as well, and he will have, again, full access to Death Mountain with that once he finds that blue cane.
Scaryolive using menu strats here against Argus, and that's a gross menu to go from hammer down to hookshot.
Yeah, this is what we like to call Menu Simulator 2019, Legend of Zelda version. If you play Menu Simulator, just keep hitting start.
It's time to see Spiral Cave over here on P-Train side.
So strange to see that we've only found the one sword. I assume Trinexx found the same sword in Thieves Town, because I see he just came out of there. So it's strange to see that we've only seen the one sword so far. Where are those swords?
There'll be at least one in GT, probably.
Oh yeah, I would not be surprised to see two in GT, to be honest with you.
That's how V30 has seemed like it's been.
And if they're not, then you probably have 3 climbs up Death Mountain waiting for you. So Trinexx will be the runner on his team to get the 27 dig information for $300.
So once again, we have both racers on Sphere Infinity in the same general location. Both going to the Tower of Hera area, it looks like.
So again, this is something you commented about. Let's get that hint again. I didn't catch it. The boots held by someone friendly. Thanks, game. Thanks, game. They have it already. Good to know. What was that they just picked up? Was that a rod?
That was an ice rod.
That was an ice rod. Wow. Tower Hera also proved to be a good play.
Ice rod, nice rod.
But I was gonna say until they found the hint and the ice rod. This is something you talked about last game. They were both in the same place at the same time, whereas the other team, we have Trinexx covering ground near Swamp Palace right now, which Scaryolive is now going through with the Bullfrog and Village of Outcasts. They're covering different ground, whereas GFE and P-Train are in the same place. They're not getting their bang for their time here, so to speak. While we find out that Dig Dogger hates certain kinds of sound, please remember that, ladies and gentlemen, when I'm commentating Zelda 1 Randomizer later tonight, because that'll be important there.
Man, I know Zelda 1 pretty well, but that Zelda 1 Randomizer just... There's so much to it that just going in, unless you know a bit about it beforehand, is just a lot.
Yeah, that's the reason I like Link to the Past Randomizer the best. It's the most new player friendly form of the randomizer, in my opinion. Even compared to Final Fantasy or Super Mario Bros. 3 is also kind of friendly, you just play the levels. But I think Link to the Past is one of the more user-friendly randomizers to start with, and then you kind of go from there. As you said, you have to know certain information. Like, you have to know that the boss of level 1 is Acromentus to know what a hint means when it says Acromentus has the hammer, or something like that.
Boy, Bobby! There was the flute off of the blacksmiths.
So yeah, enough talk about other kinds of randomizers. Let's stick with the race here. The flute on the blacksmith. I did not know they carved musical instruments.
GFE taking 1 fall to Trolldorm, P-Train taking 0. Now, Moldorm gave both racers on Team Pearl, or not Team Pearl, Senior Infinity a lot of trouble last race. I believe, I think GFE or Sabo took 3 falls to Moldorm in the last race.
So he just had a Sync Crystal Collection on the left. That can't be good. They're not covering different ground. Let's see if they split up here or if they continue to follow each other. P-Train is heading into the portal. GFE actually leaves Death Mountain and leaves P-Train to do the exploration of Spike Cave because he has a Cane of Burna. And GFE will only worry about Spike Cave, obviously, if he needs to, whereas he's not going to worry about the Cane of Burna for him.
I don't know, I maybe would have, if I was in GFE spot, I would maybe gone over and grabbed that cane just on the off chance that Spike Cave does have something. If this has progression, then, which it doesn't, but...
Unless a small piece of heart is considered as progression towards a heart meter, no, it doesn't have progression, so he's lucked out in this case, but you are right, I might have considered hanging around and get the Cane of Burna just in case. I think his logic was he's going to be climbing up there later, and as long as it wasn't something as long as it was something he could wait to get later, then he can get the Cane of Burna on the way up and go get it later. But yeah, he was lucky in this case. He doesn't need it at all now.
P-Train tried to go to King's Tomb and realized that he did not have the gold gloves. GFE grabs the flippers.
Yep. I think P-Train mentioned that they were in plain sight, so GFE realized, you know what, the pyramid's in plain sight. I'm checking that out.
Here we see GFE going up to Catfish.
Getting harassed by a couple spears on the way.
Oh, he's not going to Catfish.
Oh!
He's going to check the mirror spot up here.
Graveyard Ledge, yeah.
He'll be able to check King's Tomb.
Yep, he should. We might be getting a Skull... no, he's going straight into the Lost Woods. He's coming back around for a Skull Woods check. He doesn't have the Titan's Bits. That looks like it might be what he's doing, because he needs to access it from the north. Bonks into a tree, gets a Jar of Magic as a reward. And there's the hammer access. He is going to Skull Woods, I think.
So, interestingly, Scaryolive went up to the mountain, but did not go through the dark room for the boss. Or not for the boss, the old man. He might as well be the boss of Light World.
Okay, P-Train making a liar out of me. He's going to Village of Outcasts. I would joke that he might have heard me, but they're 10 minutes ahead of us anyway, so... A heart container requires a hammer. Yes, we had that hint already. Looks like GFE did not check King's Tomb. Did I see that correctly?
No, he checked it on the way up.
Oh, he checked it first. Okay.
Now he's going to Catfish. Yes. I guarantee you that Catfish has just been in the back of their mind since they got access to Dark World. Like, what if it is Catfish again after that last raid? Oh, and there's another sword in Super Bunny Cave.
Well, he seems interested in buying some potions right now. GFE is stopping in the potion shop and gets some of the blue Gatorade. Hashtag not sponsored. Now he's off to Catfish. P-Train also seeing the value of having the green pendant going to Eastern Palace, just in case he does that first. So he's also doing Thieves Town immediately.
Gonna take a look at Hookshot Cave here. While Trinexx checks out the back of Eastern. blue mail. There's our other mail upgrade.
Yep, that would be the red for another runner. He gets pushed off by one of the jellyfish here. There's a small 5. There's a small, tiny piece of heart. And a bomb collection. And that's another bottle.
A small bee in a bottle.
And GFE collecting his item of interest from King's Aura, the bombos. I'd say that's worth $500. And Pete Train picking up his magnetic circle from the Maiden.
Oh, and Sanctuary art.
What was that?
From Arbos Knights.
Oh, interesting. That's where the Say card is. And P-Train nerding about stakes. This is such a meaty game. We have steaks and we have bacon.
Ganon's made of ham.
What a ham.
Looks like GFE is going to be picking up their gold gloves here in a bit. Trinexx is going to be showing us the bow side of Palace of Darkness. Oh, that's a good hint.
That is a good hint.
They don't need to go to Mimic Cave now.
Yeah, we can skip that today. They still have to go around and see what's in the big chest, but they won't at least stop in that cave. So, withdraw bro, fire 2 arrows, and proceed.
Alright, we are in the statue room of Skull Woods.
One of the more annoying rooms to have to go through because you have to pull this big, ugly white thing around.
Now, if you had that Canis Maria that is from the chest in Palace of Darkness, this would have gone a lot faster. That's my way of saying Trinexx found the Canis Maria.
Oh, he just found that?
Yep.
Ah, okay. I was trying to figure out where you saw that.
It was the room after the conveyor belt.
Yeah.
I don't know the name of that chest, but I think it's like a map or a compass or whatever. Or it might have been a big key. Who knows?
Anyway, Scaryolive learns about Dig Dogger and is probably very pleased to get that information. P-Train uses his lovely fire rod and proceeds. Looks like it was not an ice rod, it was a fire rod that we saw earlier. I made that mistake too, easy mistake to make. So he has now gone into the back of Skull Woods, is going to be taking on a giant, ugly bug.
He's got that bee. You should set that free.
Yeah, bug fight. And also get a can of raid in case that bee gets killed. So P-Train is waiting for the hand sound of the hand to come down. There it goes. The reason he waited is because if he fell in the pit and then the hand fell, he would get plucked out of the pit and he would get plopped right back to the start, even though he already fell into the fight. It's even more hilarious when it happens in Ganon's Tower during Randomizer.
I have had that happen in the back of Skull Woods, and it is absolutely not fun at all.
No, it is not cool to drop in. Alright, time to start my... What? Anyway, the bug is down for P-Train. And let's see what the bug drops. The bug drops a map, so that's rather useless. However, the pendant that we get there is not useless. Scaryolive uses the route to going in the cave, main cave of Spectral Rock, and not dropping down and just walking up to check the hint tile. He just wants to see the heart container and leave.
So GFE's about to get his half magic. Trinexx to get the big.
We just found Ether. We just found Ether.
Ooh.
And by the way, we do know that because a runner did check it, Ether is required for Turtle Rock as well today, so that will be needed. GFE getting his half magic, I think you were just talking about that?
He did. Trinexx actually backed out of Pod.
I wonder what the reason is. Question in chat, are we already in no mode? No, we do not know what Misery Mire requires yet. And we still need the Ice Rod, which someone else mentioned in chat as well. So we need to find those two pieces of information. We may need Quake, depending on that. Other than that, yeah, I would say if we can find those items, I think we might potentially be in no mode. Unless you count the lamp as being required, in which case the logic would require that. Oh, and a second sword.
Oh, we have a sword in Super Bunny.
So there's our second sword.
Looked like, was that Uncle Bombs on Cape Ledge?
I didn't catch it, but if it had the number 10, that would be Uncle Bombs. It was created specifically for the randomizer for randomized swords mode as a weapon you can get from the Uncle.
And Ether is also required for Misery Mire.
So Quake is not required. That is off of our list.
Technically, our racers do still need Lamp as well. They have to do Agate Tower at some point, and between Agate Tower and Misery Mire, those are dark rooms that are not fun at all.
No, not at all. Those are not fun dark rooms.
Ooh, and there's our third sword upgrade of the game. I want to call it Spectacle Rock, and it's not Spectacle Rock. Checkerboard Cave.
That is correct. And as you said, this is a third sword upgrade, but even with that knowledge, that is the first Master Sword we've seen today.
Scaryolive heading into desert as GFE finishes up Swamp Palace.
B-Train is about to pay off everyone's favorite contortionist, Geeky the Monkey. He'll be the second runner to do so. Some cash is in Turtle Rock. You don't say!
But also, note that that small key is on the torch. We are boots locked.
Oh, I didn't... That was in Desert Palace?
Yeah.
Ooh, well, we have the big key. Have we confirmed for sure that the small key is needed?
Oh, no. No, we haven't.
Now we have the big key. That's what would have to be on the torch to be boots locked, or a small key leading to the big key.
Yeah, it's not boots locked, but we are going to have to either orphan some chests or orphan the rest of the dungeon.
We have to, at the minimum, orphan those chests. He can finish the back of the dungeon without having to worry about, because he doesn't have to go back in. It saves having to go to 2 places later compared to 1. So he's going to go finish the back of the dungeon right now, since this is not tied to those chests at all. And then he'll if those chests do have something important later, we'll find out once he actually has the boots himself. This team doesn't know where the boots are yet.
I mean, Scaryolive has cleared pretty much all of Death Mountain except getting the old man.
I don't think there was that much up there today, was there?
No, but the boots off the old man is a big find.
It is. That's a big one to miss. So Trinexx is not playing Menu Simulator. He's just trying to get the R guy off of Argus, but for some reason that last R guy keeps making its way back to its master and doesn't want to die. And he finally gets it off and finally gets it down, and now Trinexx is using the hammer strats to kill Argus. And one more hit, I believe. Nope. Yep. And we have Calamari.
We still got one more Argus fight to go, folks.
Don't worry, I want to do it the one time. So P-Train in the basement right now. Yeah, P-Train in the basement right now, getting a small key down there. And another heart, or piece of heart wrap.
So Trinexx did not get the half magic out of the left side of Swamp. That's what I figured, but Trinexx is on their way to get the flute.
I find it interesting that P-Train went to that chest and got the key. He must, he could have just avoided that key if he had known that that chest had a key, but he has a few chests he hasn't checked yet. So this is why he opened that chest, it looks like.
And now our first look at Ice Palace from GFE. Do.
Some caches in plain sight. That's a rather cool hint.
Cool as ice.
Yep. Maybe less cool and more cold.
Ice cold.
So what is our first chili item here going to be?
Ice chili.
A key. That's an ice key.
A nice ice key from you, for you from me.
Yes.
Was that the Banjo-Kazooie hint?
I don't know. So Scaryolive is on his way to his own bug fight. Jeffy is about to drop down to the next floor of Ice Palace. I missed that hint, so I'm going to try and read it again here.
That was a hint for the flute.
They don't know that, so that's information for them.
Yeah, that's a big hint for them.
That would pretty much give us away that it has to be the blacksmith too, since it says it can be forged.
Jiffy getting that bomb jump on the second time. Now, you don't have to go all the way back in through the door to activate to get better set up. You can actually just go halfway in and then just hold left. So this is a co-op seed. Both of our racers are running the same, or all four of our racers are running the same seeds. Scaryolive and Trinexx are on one team. GFE and P-Train are on the other. The average of their times is going to be what the overall team time is. Now, there is a hack out there that makes it to where if, say, Scaryolive found the cape, then Trinexx would automatically have the cape as well. We are not playing that hack. We are playing just a straight-up regular seed that we are averaging their times. Now, they are in communication with each other. They're going to be talking to each other throughout this game. but they still have to complete all dungeons. That includes Agate Tower, and then kill Ganon.
That's right. They're all going to still have to do all the tasks themselves. There's no someone else can handle the tougher dungeon that you don't like while you handle the easier dungeons. You have to do everything yourself. When both players complete doing that, the average time will be taken. We are at 45 minutes in this race. Just to remind you, I am Cyclone, joined by Virtua Cat here, as we're calling the action for you here in this race. As we are coming up into a Humble Star King fight, we're going to gingerly remove the mask from this guy's face because he's rather shy. I've seen better uses for masks than covering faces of monsters. Mask is off, silver arrow about to be fired, and the tail misses just as the shot is fired, and that's the fight. Yeah, Fisher-Price gave them his shield. GFE having staircase problems.
So this is very good for GFE having half magic and Ice Palace. There's two places that dungeons that you really want half magic in, and that is Turtle Rock and Ice Palace.
For sure, those are two of the more useful dungeons that have magic in. The magic just drains fast in those places. So many things you need magic for there.
Particularly just the boss on each of them. And GFE is not checking out the right side of Ice Palace. He is going straight to Gold Stair.
It's a gamble. We'll see how that works out.
I guess GFE found the lamp in Ice Palace.
Oh, I did not catch that. So the lamp, interesting location for that nice palace. You were logically required to do that before doing any of Palace of Darkness, Eastern Palace, any of that.
I guess that might be why he is skipping. He's found I knew at least two of the items already.
That's right. And by the way, a fun fact as well for those who are newer to the game, the lamp is one of the few items in the game you cannot find in Ganon's Tower ever, because there are more than 3 dungeons that require it, so it cannot be avoided logically.
It's more or less just like lamp and hammer, really.
I think so, yeah.
And the gloves, of course.
Yeah, gloves too. I'm talking about usable items, which I think you're right, it's just lamp and hammer. Anyway, P-Train finishes the Armos Weaklings.
So we got our first tempered sword on Scaryolive at this point.
Well, that'll make the Ganon fight easier.
And GFE is making a beeline for those that flute.
Are you saying he has a bee in a bottle?
No.
Okay. He's doing hammer peg right now. This is, I find it interesting that this has not been checked already. So if it has, I missed it. So we're going to see what's in there right now.
It was checked by Scaryolive. I don't think there was much in there.
No. Park Chamberlain will pick it up, so that's good enough for him. So yeah, it's, I guess he wasn't making a beeline as you referred to, because obviously he has no way to know the flute is there yet. So he wasn't beelining for that. He just was checking it because he's in the area.
No, they got that flute hint.
Oh, they did get the hint. You're right. Okay. So there's the tutor. Scaryolive learning about stakes.
Blind gets away from him just a little bit.
Yeah, he's a little off script now, it looks like. So he's going to have just get back on script as soon as he can here. Did good enough at it. He's done the fight. And GFE is activating the flute while carrying his lunch. That's not something you see very often. It's almost like GFE has a chest body and a hat. P-Train floods the first chamber and proceeds.
We still do not have boots on either Scaryolive or Trinexx. Neither of them have checked the old man.
This could be a case where the race is decided by the one who is actually speedrunning. By the way, we just found our swag down on the desert ledge. GFE may be checking the Meyer locations, and I didn't see a P-Train check to Ganon while he was in the area. I think he's the one who got us our dungeon information.
GFE should also be able to get his tempered sword if he checks Checkboard Cave, which I can't imagine he won't check.
I don't think either member of their team has checked it yet, so he will be checking it for sure, I would say. Or not. Maybe he's doing Desert Palace first. This actually makes sense. He's going to do Desert Palace first, then he'll come around and check Board Nagina, and that'll be his activities here, because he can't check Bombos without the book.
And he can't finish Meyer without the Red Cane.
Absolutely not. So P-Train is our last runner to fight an octopus. Nice bomb drop by Trinexx. Yeah, there's the red cane scenario for Scaryolive. Third of our runners now to get it. GFE still has to Palace of Darkness, so he will get that eventually. And Trinexx getting the hint about the half magic in the Western William Swamp Palace, which I think he already knows that Scaryolive has mentioned it to him, I'm sure. But still, that's a rather cold hint. So, question in chat just got here, is there any hint on the ice rod yet? We do not know where the ice rod is located at this time. We are eager to know where the ice rod is located at this time. And since we do need the ice rod, I would say that we are not in go mode until we at least have that.
So where do you think that ice rod is at this point? I'm going to say Meyer.
I'll say Laser Bridge.
Oh, Laser Bridge. Gross.
Just because no one's found it yet, and it's between Turtle Rock and Meyer, and there's only 2 items in Meyer, so I'm going for Laser Bridge. It's probably in Turtle Rock somewhere, and if it's in Turtle Rock, it's usually trolling.
Actually, I'm going to say Ether Tablet with a book in Meyer.
Ooh. What if the book was in Turtle Rock?
I mean, I do want to be mean to both P-Train and Trinexx, but I don't want to be that.
Okay, fine. I'll give you that.
Oh, P-Train with a good call on carrying the Samaria block so he does not have to go back through his portal.
And for the final time today, I believe, well, actually, no, not the final time, but now that we've heard the music, I will say, like I usually do, that Scaryolive is now open for business. Call 555-DUCK for all your transportation needs in Hyrule. This timer does not work in the Dark World or anywhere in Nebraska. Please do not call. Number is not.
And we now have 3 racers with tempered swords. And P-Train is still... Oh, P-Train is blind pulling bed.
I like it. What do we have here? Is this a Book of Ador? Is this an ice rod? Or is it just some money? Get your pen hype and chat as we get the Master Rupees. Wah, wah, wow.
But yeah, we have 3 tempered swords. P-Train still has the white sword. And still has more dungeons clear than any of the other racers.
You know what? I am going to be mean. Book of Ador, Deep and Turtle Rock, Bombo's Tablet, Ice Rock.
P-Train gets his 2nd sword upgrade here in Seaboard Cave.
So that will give him the minimum required for Ganon. Not logically, but at least the minimum. I'll just have to spin slash again, fight with another sword.
Now, Paradox Cave is not too far out of the way. Or, not Paradox Cave, Super Bunny Cave. So he should be picking that up. I would definitely make that trip to pick up a temper. Trinexx playing fast and loose with his health there in the Gold Stair fight, but it does take him down and gets his 3rd crystal, 5th dungeon overall.
P-Train put some of that money to good use, getting some Gatorade. Or should we go with the Pepsi reference?
Toss that bird. Toss that bird.
Yes.
Toss that bird. Toss that.
Toss that bird. I was going to join you, but... Oh, you fabled bird smash! That bird did not have a chance, did not see it coming. A bird has been smashed, ladies and gentlemen. Not the first time I've seen that, but always fun to see.
P-Train showing us how to do that room.
And we have calls in chat about animal cruelty. Of course.
Oh, the fabled Godmire and P-Train doesn't need that big key.
He is not going to check anything else, it looks like, in Misery Mire right now. He's going to gamble that the Ice Rod is not in here, it looks like. Unless GFE checked it earlier and we have no information on that. P-Train also is one of our 2 runners who does not have the lamp, so he is doing a very, very, very difficult dark room right now to try to get to the boss. But runners of this level most likely are not going to have problems without the lamp. So you're going to see a lot of this during the league and during a lot of these tournaments that we have.
P-Train is very, very, very good at this game. I don't think he gets mentioned quite as often as he should when it comes to some of the best runners, but he is absolutely fantastic in Link to the Past.
Okay, so we have another boss fight on P-Train's side, or at least we think it's a boss fight. They're falling way too quickly. I don't think it's really a boss.
It just goes down like a sack of tomatoes, really.
Yeah, the vitreous eyeballs, they just get blended quickly with those silver arrows.
Make it salsa.
Or a milkshake. A very veiny milkshake. If you are drinking a milkshake right now, I apologize. So question chat, what round is this? This is our Link to the Past Randomizer league, week 4, I believe it is, and we are looking at a co-op week. So what you see is on the left we have one team, Scaryolive I believe it was, and on the right we have two, I gotta check the second team, two Pearl, two Furious. And these two teams are fighting each other to see who is the first to have both runners complete the seed. The fastest average time will be the winning time, so there is an incentive for the second player to finish as quickly as possible in order to maintain an average time, even if 3 runners have already finished, and there's still a chance that one team could lose. Yeah, fastest average time between 2 runners wins. The 2 runners are able to communicate with each other on the same team about the items on the seed. They are not allowed any additional help. They can only communicate with each other. They cannot watch any video. They have to do everything on their own as they would normally. The only difference is they communicate about the seed.
So P-Train did go back in to Misery Mire.
He did.
To see if he can find Ice Rod in it.
I think he was playing the gamble that Vitreous might have had the Ice Rod, and he was hoping that he could skip the rest of Misery Mire by doing that, but that did not work because it's right there.
P-Train is in go mode.
Yeah, I was going to say, at this point, at 1 hour, 2 minutes, and I'm going to say 35 seconds, I didn't catch the exact time, Sphere Affinity is in go mode.
Chugga, 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 choo choo.
Yeah, at this point, you're going to see GFE pretty much stop opening chests, because P-Train will communicate. The last item is a Misery Mire. Just get this done and get out.
I actually have one of those wooden train whistles that I wish I had gotten it out for this race.
You can just try doing a train whistle yourself if you want to. Okay, never do that again.
Scaryolive is going dark back of escape. Let's see what's in that dark cross room.
Okay, looks like chat liked your train whistle, by the way. Anyway, enough about chat. Sticking with the race here, Trinexx is our runner on the other side in Misery Mire. Let's see if he actually goes and checks the remaining chests before going to Trinexx, or if he makes the same gamble. I mean, not Trinexx, to Vitreous, sorry. If he makes the same gamble going to Vitreous, whether he goes back and checks the chest first. I actually do like P-Train's play of skipping until finishing the boss just in case the boss had it. So we'll see what Trinexx decides to do here. He is going back and checking chests.
Yeah, there's a couple of dungeons that I really like that play with. Desert Palace is one of them. Skull Woods is kind of the classic that a lot of people like. If they already have Fire Rod, they go immediately to Moth. And if both of those items are back there, you do not have to go into any other part of Skull Woods.
And P-Train calls Swag Duck Air from the Desert Palace back entrance. And seems to be heading over to Ice Palace right now. He has 2 dungeons remaining to finish the seed. And he still has to do, by the way, Aghanim's Tower at some point, because it is an all-dungeon seed. So Aghanim's Tower is still required. But he has 2 dungeons left on the tracker aside from that he has to also complete. And Aghanim's Tower will be what he does last before going to Ganon. Now, the reason he's going to do that is because, A, we haven't needed to do it yet, which means that we can route it this way if we want to. But more importantly, when he finishes the Aghanim fight, it's going to plop him right in front of the cuckoo hole that Ganon creates as he falls in, and that means that he's going to be able to go straight to the boss and do the boss fight from there with full health, full magic.
So Trinexx just got his Ice Rod, and is going to go ahead and finish up Misery Mire. They don't necessarily need boots, but man, it would really come in handy.
I was going to say, at this point they are in go mode, but like you said, they're not going to go check the old man at this point, I don't think, and it's kind of a shame because that's one of the things you can do very quickly. I'm surprised neither of them actually did that. Now, if the big key is on the torch, I don't think they're going to get very far in Ganon's Tower.
I think they'll still clear out Ganon Tower to see if the boots are in GT.
And they will fail, obviously, but we'll see what happens.
Actually, no, because logically, Desert is still boots locked, but you would need that to get in.
I find that strange. Even if this... Oh, I think I get it. Because the small key could otherwise be stolen and utilized elsewhere, the logic assumes a small key on the torch is required.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that would make sense then. I forgot about that. That's a very good point, and that does mean that the boots would be logically required. So if they come to that realization, which I did not, then they would know as soon as they get to Ganon's Tower, and if the big key is on the torch, they would know it's not at Ganon's Tower.
But Scaryolive also got that hint that boots are held by someone friendly, and not only do they just not do the old man check, that gives them the mountain cave starting location as well, which is the fastest way to grab some health and get your flute out.
Indeed.
Flute's out.
So we're gonna get to see these for the third time today. Actually, the eyeball fight. Some people like to call this creature Kracko. I'm one of those, because being a Kirby fan. So P-Train dissolves the ice around the Kracko, the colder version, the colder cousin of the one from Kirby, and he manages to get Kracko in the Cold Stare in the corner. They finally split up and get away, but he got a few hits on all the eyes, so he's in good shape. Using the Fire Rod to finish it off. One eye still remaining. There it goes.
Gave him astigmatism.
So P-Train now just has Turtle Rock to do, so his order now is Turtle Rock, Ganon's Tower, and then Castle Tower, Aghanim's Tower as better known, and then Ganon, he's done. So GFE is one dungeon behind him with Misery Mire, which he's in right now. I expect they're going to probably have an average time, I'm guessing somewhere around, depending on where the big key is, I would say somewhere from just think how long it takes to do Castle Tower. Probably about 3-4 minutes. I'll say their time will be somewhere from 122 to 125, their average time.
I'll say 127, 14.
Oh, you're getting specific.
I'm a very specific man.
Realize if that is correct, we will have to burn you, right?
I mean, it's one thing to get the big key guessing game correct. We're down to the second of somebody's time.
So P-Train is our first runner. Rockshade, I don't think he was the first runner to open Turtle Rock, but if he, no one else really went in if they did. So he's the first runner to really get into Turtle Rock. He's not going in yet, though. Is he still looking for the boots? No, he has the boots. What is he still looking for?
There's that sword in Super Bunny.
Oh, okay. And he picked up the hookshot Cave Rock and realized, no, that's not where I want to go, so I'm going to go here instead.
Think Hookshot had a mail upgrade?
It did, so I would still think it would be worth going to, but he may be confident in his ability and may not be worried about it.
P-Train, I don't think needs it.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be fine without it.
And he's got 12 hearts, he's got tempered, he's got silvers. This is all that he needs.
So first chest contains the big key. So now and I made this mistake in a commentary when I reviewed one of these seeds on my own stream earlier this week. But now that they have the big key, they can actually skip the Lava Island chest, because if that chest were to have one of the necessary keys, they can steal the Poke Key and completely ignore that chest. They can just go straight past that chest after they get the Poke Key. They don't have to go in that room at all. So that will allow them to skip Laser Bridge if the final key is on Laser Bridge.
Yeah, ideally he's going to want to see 2 keys here in the back of the roller bar room.
Exactly. He won't find that. I was going to say, if he found 2 keys back here, another one on Chompy, he could just skip all of Turtle Rock at that point. Maybe that shovel will dig up a key. What do you think?
No.
Wrong mode, I know. Yeah, that key doesn't count among the 4 keys. That was needed to open that door. And there's our second official small key out of the dungeon, so he needs 1 more besides the... Actually, no, the Poke Key might be it. Oh, no, he does need 1 more besides the Poke Key, so he's gonna get the Poke Key, and then he'll be good to go. There's actually some debate as to whether getting the Poke Key is faster than just getting the 4th key manually, because by the time you get to Laser Bridge, it doesn't take too much time. What do you think?
I think it depends on where it is on Laser Bridge. I mean, if it's one of those... If it's that first one, then... Or second one, then you're good. I think 3rd, 4th. Also depends on what kind of invincibility items you have. If you have the cane, if you have the cape, then... Yeah, go directly to Laser Bridge.
Yeah. If you were lucky to find that the key is not on Laser Bridge, then yeah, it would obviously be a lot quicker not to have to get the Poke Key, but you don't see runners taking that chance just in case it is in those bottom 2 chests.
And Trinexx is now on their way up to T-Rock.
There's one more interesting piece of information I can note here as well. GFE is going to be able to get information on where all the keys are from P-Train, so he can go just that little bit faster. So P-Train may still check chests, even if he has 3 keys from chests already. He may still check chests to see if there's one on the way, and GFE can just skip the Poke Key in that case. But at this point, it looks like the 4th key would be on Laser Bridge, so I can see GFE at this point possibly getting the Poke Key. It might depend on whether he gets to that area to go there before P-Train finds the... Actually, yeah, P-Train needs to find that last key, so he does have to check Laser Bridge anyway. I think he skipped the big chest. That might have a small key in it. So that's the route he was taking. He was avoiding the small key in the big chest and doing Laser Bridge instead. Very interesting decision. And it's the last chest on Laser Bridge. There you go. In this case, I think big chest might have been quicker, but that's a gamble that you're willing to take.
I always love that Samaria play there in the Crystal Maze.
That is very nice. I tried to do that the other night and I couldn't pull it off. Always nice to see it done beautifully.
Also, you all should YouTube the Crystal Maze and watch some episodes of an old British game show. It's very fun.
I actually have seen that. I'm not a fan of it, though.
It's got the guy from Rocky Horror in it.
Yeah. So, P-Train is taking on the player to his right at this point. So, the monster version of Trinexx goes down. The Trinexx in our race is still going normally.
But that is 7 crystals from P-Train, however.
Correct.
And that means it is time to start the Big Key guessing game. There are 22 possible locations in Ganon's Tower where the Big Key can possibly be. Get your guesses in, 1 through 22. Where do you think it's going to be? Cyclone, where do you think?
Well, I accidentally typed a second start command, but other than that, you know what I say. If you have watched me in chat or on commentary before, it's always 11 because, well, always. What about you? I lost that, sorry. It looks like we might have lost Virtual Cat for just a moment there. We'll see if we can get his guess in a moment here.
Right chest behind Ice Armos.
What number?
18, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what we go by for this. And looks like the game has been stopped, so we are going to be wishing everyone good luck with their guesses here. And let's see where it is.
Chest number 1, Quake.
Well, there's where the Quake was.
Chest number 2, 50 rupees.
And because both of those were crystals anyway, that Quake wouldn't have played a role anyway. But let's see if the boots are going to play a role right now. They do not.
Chest number 3, the torch, is a small key.
And Bob, unfortunately, fortunately, is going to be cured today.
You say cured, I say thrown into that black hole picture that they found.
I'm not cool.
Chest number 4 is another small key. Chest number 5 is another small key.
Ooh. 3 out of 4 possible small keys already found. There's the Book of Medora.
Chest number 6 and chest number 7 is 20 rupees.
So clearly the tablets were not meant to come into play with that being in here today.
Got chest number 8, Fire Bar Room coming up. Yeah, face tank that damage.
Yeah, face tanking the fire right to the cheek. All 4 small keys are now found in the chest.
And that was chest number 8. We are 2 rooms away from chest number 9.
Chest number 9 is in what we call the firebar room. By the way, GFE now entering Ganon's tower, second runner in. So this does put Sphere Fanny in a significant lead at this point. As P-Train makes his way through the fire snake room, taking more fire to the cheek. Pushes the block, opens the chest. Hello, nothing there.
That was just 10 arrows now. We're going to get 10, 11, 12, and 13 here in the Rando room. So-called because unless you're playing Rando, there's no reason to go in here.
Yeah, I was just going to ask if you can explain that. You actually just did that. Very nice. So, chest number 10 is the single green rupee. Chest number 11 is the big key. And ladies and gentlemen, I win!
Congratulations. In-game, the closest guess from a sub or supporter of Speed Gaming was 1002 at 4. At 11, he guessed 10.
So, yes, I wasn't playing in the chat, so congratulations to 1002 at, or 10cat, however you want to say that. You are the winner of a space on our leaderboard, and you get to join me at the Troll Rock Hot Springs Resort, guaranteed to be hot, so hot that you get burned.
So obviously GFE now knows where that key is. I mean, unless P-Train just is playing games with his heart, but they should be in sync.
It looks like we have a code in chat for the big key location in Ganon's tower. 1002 at 4 at 11. Over.
Good gauntlet so far by P-Train.
Yes, very nice. He's going through that very quickly, making these rooms look very easy, which, if you have 12 hearts and any kind of male upgrade, they are. If you didn't, then they'd be a lot harder. And walking right through that buddy beam, going straight into the Land Molus fight, or Land Molus 2 fight, rather. I think we're both under on our estimates.
Yeah, unless they finish in the next 4 minutes.
Yeah. They'd have to do Aghanim's Tower before doing Ganon, and that's not going to happen. So Scaryolive doing the dark version of the dark room, not seeing where he's going. Trinexx is being pummeled by a Lionel after beating up his cousin. Rude. D-Train moves up to the 6th floor.
P-Train can just skip this entire room.
And it's now time for the Moldorm 2 fight, so named because it's trollier than Moldorm 1. Is he gonna hover? He's gonna hover. And he makes it across. The champ is through, and he's gonna proceed with a hookshot lich over the block as it's moving. Good way to get through the block. And he's going to proceed up the stairs to the final fight with Triangle Man.
You know what I have to say to that hover?
I have no clue what that just was.
That was my train whistle.
You were laughing more than you were whistling. Moving to the Aghanim fight, we have 3 orbs, sometimes a blue orb from the real Aghanim, coming, and they all have to be attempted fired at the wizard. We have a nice triple right there, by the way, on the last shot, looks like, unless one orb despawned, but it looks like it was a triple on the first shot as well. So 3-1, actually the first shot was a triple. Very nicely done by P-Train. Shows us some good skill in the Aghanim fight. Moving on to not the Big Pig yet. It is not time for the Big Pig until we do the slower version of that fight.
Trinexx is dark magicianing the GT run, and that is pretty bad for him because that means that the last possible location is going to be that big key aside from the power room.
That is no bueno for him. This is why I prefer the route where you check random room, and then if you want to go right side at that point, then you would go, because it's just risky leaving those 6 chests behind just in case it is in those chests. It takes a lot more time to go back for those than it does to continue on the left side and then go right.
And P-Train is doing Dark Aga Tower.
Now, he must be comfortable with the doing it this way. He's using the fire rod to light one of the torches, and he's and that is a valid strategy. It's not one that I believe was possible in the vanilla game, but once you light one of those torches, you can see where you're going, and you don't have to worry about the dark. So this is definitely a valid strategy. So he's out of the dark now. He's not going to have any more problems with needing a lamp here. So he's just moving on. And to answer the question in chat, this is an all dungeon seed. During co-op week, all seeds are all dungeons.
Yeah, we're going to have around a 1.5 hour all dungeon seed.
Yes, we are.
And these are all really good runners. I don't know if that'd be doable if it wasn't for the co-op.
No, because you get to cover the extra time and share some information, I would say that 130 for an all dungeons would be something that only the most top tier runners would be able to pull off. And it would have to be a really nicely laid out seed without everything being in manufactured locations in a sense that they're not convenient. For example, a seed earlier this week where we had to take 3 trips up Death Mountain just to get the boots and go fight Aghanim for the hook shot. That kind of a seed would probably be a 2.5 hour seed if you weren't doing co-op. So we didn't play the blue ball guessing game. I'm sorry that we didn't start that in time here. I don't think I saw any blue balls yet, though. So what was? Oh, there is one. So what P-Train is doing, he's firing the first orb back at. Shouldn't use the term orb. And then he has 3 orbs that can be a 50-50 between being a blue ball or a regular orb that can fire back. In this case, after 4 orbs like that, then he would have a lightning crescendo to deal with and cycle repeats. So we're going to have that lightning crescendo right now because we just had another cycle before completed. And if you're right, that is 3 blue balls. And it's going to be the winning number. Oh no, we saw 4 apparently, unless he missed a shot. And I guess that's 5. Did he miss some shots?
No, I just wasn't counting blue balls. I said I think I've seen one.
7 blue balls. So this has to be the winning number.
Alright, and with that, P-Train is going to go ahead and take on the Big Pig, the Boss Hog, the top cop himself.
And let's see what
Ganon.
the Big Pig has to say today. You drove away my other self Agnum 2 times, but something about giving the Triforce, I'll defeat you. I won't give you the Triforce, I'll defeat you. Sometimes it's hard to read the text when it goes so fast.
P-Train is giving a masterclass in Tempered Ganon.
Yep, you are learning here how to temper Ganon fast. Just hit him. So P-Train has finished carving the ham. All he has to do now is cook it with the silver arrows, and we're good to go. This is the torch glitch, unfortunately. Shouldn't be too much trouble, though. Already got one hit, it looks like. That's a double. One more should do it. One more does do it. So that's our first runner who has completed the seed. GFE will not be far behind. P-Train is going to finish with about a 131-37 or something in that range. So we're going to get a GG right now as he crosses a 1x3 bridge and enters the Triforce room to find out that the Triforce has to say to him today, I'm sorry, but your princess is in another castle.
So that is an official SRL time of 131-139 for P-Train.
We'll get back to you on the official time for the average time momentarily as well. Yes, I'm going to risk doing math on Twitch. So we are on Trinexx's audio right now. I don't think we have usable audio for GFE, so we're going to stay with Trinexx here. As GFE is completing his own Ganon fight. Yes, he also has the light arrows, Ganon. Our runners all have the light arrows. You can stop asking. I think that was the first shot. He did get the torch glitch, by the way. And that's 2 more. 1 more.
Oh, I thought you were just being sassy to chat for a second. Like, chat.
Oh, no, not at all. So GFE is also going to finish the race here. And we're going to get his official SRL time in just a moment here as well.
That's the official SRL for GFE 12 of 133.09.
And that is very easy math. That is a minute and a half difference between the runners. So basically take 45 seconds away there. You have an official average time of 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 24 seconds. Get your GGs in chat.
And it's just both of the racers for Team Spherefinity finished before both of the racers, for either of the racers, for Two Pearl, Two Furious. We can 100% guarantee that Spherefinity wins round 2.
They are the winners, yep.
And
sorry, that is correct. They are the winners of the race.
We are joined by my 2 favorite Southern boys, GFE and P-Train. How are you guys doing today?
Pretty good.
Doing well, y'all.
Very, very good race for both of you guys today.
Oh man, after the race me and Sabo had on Tuesday, this felt amazing.
This worked out really well for us.
I was actually really worried there for a second because you guys were both going into Hera at the same time. And I remember that being something that the race from the other day, GFE was part of, and he and Sabo were both going into the same Death Mountain areas at the same time, and I was like, oh no, this is happening again. But man, you guys just made short work of this seed.
Yeah, I can explain the reasoning there. Since Uncle had boots,
Oh man.
and P-Train had told me that the flips were in plain sight. First thing I thought of was Hera. While he was on East Death Mountain, and I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and check and see if flippers are in Hera, and finished that off. And the next place that hit my mind was the pyramid, so I went there. That opened up Swamp. Great from that point forward.
Did you just always have catfish kind of in the back of your head after the last race?
Yes, I did, and it was just convenient with those flippers that I could cure and get my silvers from Waterfall Ferry and bombos from Zora just in case.
I would say it would be useful to have some southern fried catfish today, huh?
I normally love my catfish, but the last seed he wasn't so kind to me.
Yeah, all throughout the seed, we had a really nice complement of items. Like, I found Bombos and Ether before GFE did. I also found Kane before GFE did. So he found Flute before I did. He found the hint for Flute.
Yeah,
so he found Mitt. So I was able to clean that up. So when he was in Mire, he couldn't dip it yet, but I could. But at that point, like, we had already planned that I was going to do Mire, and then he was going to go up and do Turtle Rock, see if Ice Rod was in TR. And luckily, before he got to that point, I found it in Mire. But just all throughout the seed, we were finding items that allowed us to do different things at the same time, which just worked out really nice. We covered a lot of it.
Yeah, doing ice at that point, finding that flute hint, that made us feel real good.
Now,
hunting Ice Rod, good.
Now, funnily enough, both Scaryolive and Trinexx still had Flute before you two, but they never found boots.
What? They never.
Are you kidding me?
We're not kidding. We're not kidding.
That's gotta feel so bad.
Flute to the mountain, not check old man.
Yeah.
Now, I normally would not do this because I normally wouldn't expect to see our runners in the chat as the race is still going on. But one of our runners is actually taking responsibility for that on the other team. We'll talk about that in a moment.
Yeah, I can't remember what I was going to do. I think I was heading to Eastern Empire because I just found Bo and Mini Moldorm, and I was like, wait a minute. I also have, like, the entirety of Death Mountain, and that's a lot of items that I can get really quick. So yeah, I sequence broke Death Mountain, and then the first item I found up there was the boots. So I was like, oh, sweet. So I felt really good about that because otherwise, I think logically, I mean, basically you were kind of bottlenecked by Ice Palace. You either got the lamp in Ice Palace or you got, what, Glove and Turtle Rock or something like that? No, you had to get lamp at Ice Palace. Other than that, you had to get Glove and then Flute from Swamp. So if you tried to follow logic for Death Mountain, like, it was a long time before you got boots.
Ooh, Trinexx takes a death on Ganon.
I guess the good news for him is that his partner is still following behind him, so he's not going to be... it'll hurt their average a little bit, but he should still be joining us very soon with Scaryolive when Scaryolive finishes anyway.
So overall, this question is probably more specifically for GFE. Were there any changes that you made to your playstyle or anything else for this seed after the last one?
I mean, not really. It's just the last seed. I derped pretty big when I forgot to check Shovel Spot, and that had the flippers. This seed, I followed that hint, found the flippers, and it just went great from there. So, just mistakes on my part. I did still have one Moldorm fall, but one's better than 3.
Yeah, that was good retribution for that last succeed.
Yeah, all in all, I really enjoyed this seed. I thought it was I thought it was a good co-op seed. Honestly, thought it was a good spread of items. Ice Rod being in a crystal dungeon. I mean, I don't know. It's all dungeons, so it doesn't really matter there. But Ice Rod not being in some random overworld location, and also not being in Turtle Rock was a nice change of pace.
I'm going to interrupt you just a second here as Trinexx just crossed the finish line. Reporting now that his official SRL time is 1 hour, 40 minutes, and 27 seconds. We'll still be waiting for Scaryolive to finish. Go ahead and continue.
No, that was it. I just really enjoyed the seed. I thought it was a good co-op seed. I thought it was a good spread of items. Like I said, at no point were GFE and I just like doing the, like, aside from the Hera play, but really that was based off of the hint. But other than that, there were always like more than one thing to do that were all equally good. You know, it wasn't like I'm clearing pod while GFE's making a walk up to Catfish, and that's all he's making a walk for. You know, like we both knocked out a lot of dungeons in quick order. So I thought this was a really fun seed to play.
Yeah, like he gave you bow right off the bat, and you got that Dark World access pretty early too. And that just hookshot early as well, and that just opened up more or less the entire overworld for you guys right there off the bat. And
I mean, probably the only thing that didn't work out was I went for the early Eastern dip, which is, I mean, it's a sensible thing to do in co-op, but I didn't have the bow, so I had to go back later.
I think we will be joined by Trinexx here in just a second.
Well, wait for Scaryolive to finish before Trinexx joins us. But I want to ask a question before we get them in here of our winning team. The win tonight gives Sphere Fantasy 15 points in the league standings with 5 wins and 3 losses. That puts them tied for third, literally 1 win behind the leaders, Fendrama Drifters and Team 4K fourth and ahead. I happen to look ahead at the schedule for the next couple weeks here. And the next 2 matches for Sphere Fantasy are against Team 4K fourth and ahead for Crossworld Key Sanity Week. And for the final week of the 6-week cycle, we have them against the Titan Smiths. So you're going against our top 2 teams in the Lake Hilly division in the next 2 weeks. Are you feeling pumped for those matches? Are you looking forward to see what happens?
Considering P-Train's going to play next week, I'm going to let him talk about that.
I'm going to do my best not to make them free wins for Korik. I mean, I've been trying to do a lot of practice with cross keys. I'm decent at the mode, but both Ak and Korik just have a sense for the mode that I don't have. So I definitely feel like I'm at a disadvantage, if I'm being honest, but I hope to put up a good fight. So we'll see what happens. Cross keys is a very, very volatile mode, so a lot can happen. You know, even skipping one chest makes a big difference.
That is very true.
We
go ahead.
just got a SRL official time for Scaryolive of 1:43:13. So GG's to him. Looks like Trinexx will be joining us, but Scaryolive will not. I'm going to go ahead and pull Trinexx up here.
Okay.
Hello, Trinexx.
How's it going?
GG.
Thank you. Good games to you guys.
Good game, man.
Pulled out a pretty nice time there of 131, 133. Yeah. You guys basically kind of really routed it pretty well then.
Yeah, this was a really fun scene to watch for both of our teams.
Yeah, I think early on we felt like we had a pretty good thing going on here, but there was like a couple of unfortunate missed checks at the time that just didn't seem to work out that really kind of hurt at the end. I was slightly freaking out in chat there because I thought you said that boots were on Uncle, and I was responsible for that, so I was like, oh man, did I really just do that?
No, they were on Old Man.
Yeah, and then that made sense because Olive was going up the mountain to kind of check that, and he didn't have a sword at the time, so he didn't feel like doing echolocation with the hook shot. So it got skipped for a bit. And then the second time around, he was going to check it, and then I found Ice Rod, so we just bailed out. because then we hit go mode.
Yeah, I found it really interesting that you never did get to the old man. That's one of those things that I personally, if I was playing a seed, I would be like, you know what? If I'm going to flute up here, I want to see what's up here. And I would dig around in the dark and find him quickly. As long as I have a sword, I know I can make my way around there safely very quickly. Even me, a casual player, I can do that. So I was actually very surprised to see that we did skip the old man there because, yeah, it is a little bit of a time-intensive check. There's a lot more checks over on the right. But it was just really surprising to see that.
Yeah, like I said, it was just because I had found this first sword in Thieves Town, and he was still going up that way just to make the density checks, and just it happened to be easier to not futz around first with that one.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, like, if you don't do it the first time you're on Death Mountain, like, you never think, like, an hour and a half into the seed, like, oh, wait, I didn't check old man.
Yeah.
That's the one
Kind
where...
of like Uncle in Inverted. Like, you always expect to do that first thing. So if you don't do it first thing, it's hard to remember that you haven't done that because you're so used to having done it already.
Yeah, it wasn't until later on that I was going up to Hera that I don't think he mentioned that he didn't check old man. So I just kind of lost my mind as well. So just at that point, just never checked it. So it's like we had the hint in mind. We just kept thinking bat. And the moment we found powder in Turtle Rock, then mushroom, I was like, oh man, please don't be on the torch. But thankfully, it didn't work out that way.
Oh, so that's where the powder was.
Yeah, I think we were miscommunicating because I was a little bit ahead of him in Turtle Rock, and big key versus big key chest, that kind of weird phrasing happened.
Yeah.
Oh, big key chest had the power. Didn't even catch that.
Yep. Unfortunately, since he opened the door, he couldn't skip Laser Bridge. So.
Did y'all do Turtle Rock before Ice Rod?
No, he was going up the mountain to do an Ice Rodless Turtle Rock dip while I was going into Mire. And the moment I found Ice Rod, he bailed. So. Okay,
we were very close to the same situation. I don't know if GFE was actually on his way up the mountain or not.
Well, no, I was in pod to get my cane, and then I was going to clear eastern of the mountain.
Yeah, I think what ended up happening to us is that I was going to do my dip into swamp for my gloves, but I completely forgot that I didn't actually have the flippers yet. It's one of those, you know where they are, therefore you mentally have them, and then I just kind of completely bailed about that. So I went up the pyramid, did the flippers checks, and just went into Eastern Pod first instead while we were checking stuff out. So for a while, I had cane, he had flute, and we just never met up properly to get to Mire in a timely fashion.
So my number one question at this point is, I know that you teams aren't playing each other again soon. These co-op seeds did end in 1 versus 1. Are we going to see a friendly to finish it off here at some point?
I mean, I'd certainly be up for it.
Hey, yeah.
I mean, no obligation, but I really have enjoyed this co-op race. I enjoyed practicing with GFE, so just in general, the co-op feel, this isn't something that people do often. So it was kind of neat to have an opportunity to do something that you don't typically do.
Yeah, I find these a lot more fun than spoiler races. Just sort of like you can kind of plan out ahead how to more efficiently check things.
Yeah, I really enjoy the co-op.
Yeah, specifically for P-Train and Trinexx, if you want, I'll make a Plando again, and I'll make sure to turn the bees on.
That's fine. Go with Bee Sanity Co-op. It's great.
So, just take a look at the schedule coming up here. 2 Pros Furious going against Fendrana Drifters next week in the Crossworld Entrance Key Sanity craziness is going to be coming up here. Thoughts coming into that matchup?
For me, I am bailing out that week.
You're the lucky one.
Olive and Ultima used to do a lot of cross-key late-night seeds, but they would start at like 11 o'clock at night, later than my bedtime, so I never get a chance to join them a whole lot to do it. So they're the ones taking on that one.
I see. I guess they're not here for me to ask them, so I can't really ask them.
I'm starting to feel like I drew the short straw. Like, I was all excited. I was like, yeah, let me run cross keys. But now that I'm talking to people, they're like, nah, I set that week out.
No thanks. I've had my 2 races this week, so I get the week off.
Nice.
If nothing else, I blame Oliver for making me have to do inverted, so.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
I got the inverted short straw, too.
Inverted a bad name. I like inverted.
Except, my last seed was 2 hours and 18 minutes of a seed, so never mind.
I will say something to what y'all mentioned earlier. That week 6, be kind of crazy, cause you mentioned we're playing the Titans Mets, which we're tied with right now for. And,
Actually, let me correct that just to make sure we're clear. Sphere Fady goes against Titans Miss in week 6. Week 5 is against Team 4K fourth and ahead.
Yeah, that's what you said. And then also in week 6, I believe Fendrana Drifters is playing 4K fourth and forehead.
They are, you're correct.
It's going to be quite a week.
That's going to be one good matchup to tune in for anyone who is looking ahead to week 6. That's going to be standard randomized swords again. So I think that's the same thing we had in the first week, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
There's something to look forward to for those looking for a good matchup in the final week.
I think this is the first season for the league matches here, but it might be reasonable to have like sort of like a last week sort of dynamic schedule to maybe like have like the playoff kind of things happen at the same time. But I guess we'll see how it play out. I think after this, we're probably not in contention for making the brackets, but
I don't know how many get pulled in the bracket, so I really can't say for that, unfortunately.
I think it's 3 from each division, I think.
3 from each division?
It's 3.
The top 3 get pulled into brackets.
Interesting. Okay, interesting. I'll have to see how that plays out because I haven't actually looked into that too much. But it'll be very interesting seeing how that works out in the final part of the league series. It's going to be fun watching Lake Hylia and Death Mountain, which is finally having to clash in those, especially in the final week, because I think they are still separated in the first 2 in the playoffs week 1 and the conference championships. So it'll be very nice to see the league championship when the winning teams have to merge. Just like it kind of has a Major League Baseball feel if you think about it that way. When the NL and the AL suddenly have to put their 2 teams against each other, it's going to be just like that on in the finals the week of May 12th. Anyway, let's get some final thoughts as to the seed and anything else that is on your minds tonight. Any final thoughts?
I'll just end by saying really enjoyed it. Look forward to some more co-op, hopefully in the next season of the league. And I really appreciate you guys with the commentary. Thanks to both of our trackers as well. Be sure to give all these guys a follow for all the work they do. And GG's again to Trinexx and Olive as well.
Yeah, special. I appreciate, of course, Cyclone and Virtual Cat. Both of you commentated. Special thanks to, I think it's Arteril and Vivi, or Ursula 4115. Special thanks to you guys for tracking. Always like to give a special shout out to trackers because y'all have the real hard job. Talking is easy, but watching the screen, paying attention to everything, I really appreciate it. You guys are there. You guys make commentator job easy. But yeah, really appreciate the restream and glad we were able to put on a good show.
And I want to basically say the same thing. Thanks to you guys, the streamers, the trackers, for everything you guys are doing, and good game to you guys again for the win. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully next time we'll have a 3 versus 3 multi-world seed challenge when that eventually comes out. And
I wish you all good luck in your coming matches the next 2 weeks, whether you make it to the playoffs or not. Good luck in your upcoming matches. And for those, if you are in contention, obviously good luck reaching the playoffs as well. So there's your players from the 2 teams tonight. And with that said, we do have another race on standby for New Super Mario Brothers Wii. We have to kind of step aside for that. So any quick last thoughts from you, Virtual Cat?
No, I'm just very excited to see where this goes. Thank you to all of our racers. Thank you to our trackers again. It's hard enough to track one player with 2 trackers. It's much harder to do co-op. So big ups to both of them. But having a great night. I hope you all have a great night, and we will see you soon.
And I want to thank you again, Virtua Cat, for joining me on commentary tonight. Again, give him a follow. Virtua Cat Gaming is his Twitch. Ursula4115 and Artaryl, ARTARYL, were our trackers tonight. I am Cyclone or Cyclone GU. I want to remind you as well, follow Speed Gaming 2 through 6 for those watching on our YouTube channel. Those are our live Twitch channels. Here on the live channel, we are going to step aside for new Super Mario Brothers U, or let me make sure I get that right. New Super Mario Brothers Wii, rather. Coming up on here on Speed Gaming 2, so stay here live, and we're going to have that coming up. If you are watching YouTube, that will be on a different playlist on the same channel. Go look for that over there. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Stay tuned for some Mario. Good night, and may not all your seats be pet seats.